question many of you have been asking me is, what do you do if you forget a rule during the essay portion of the bar exam? Let's talk about it. I'm just gonna start off by saying that it's not a matter of if you forget a rule in the bar exam. It's when you forget a rule in the bar exam, because we all forget something on the bar exam. It's perfectly normal. There's so much content that you have to memorize that, of course, not everything's gonna be in front of mind. The question is, how do we recover from that instant feeling of, oh my goodness, I have no idea what this rule is? Warning you about the inevitability of you forgetting is important, because this leads into my first point, which is you cannot panic. When you have anxiety, you go into fight or flight mode. You're gonna have rapid thoughts, and your brain is gonna prioritize those rapid thoughts by what you need in order to survive. And this will come at the expense of other parts of your brain, other memories that you have. So when you get yourself into a situation where you're not able to recall a specific wording of a particular rule, this is what you do. The first thing you want to do is start by writing out everything you do know. Even if you don't know the exact wording of a rule, you probably know what the issue is. You might be able to pull certain buzzwords that you recall from the word. And the act of writing out what you do know may trigger another memory that will allow you to remember the phrasing of the rule that you wanted to remember. So if you've already written out the issues, if you've already written out all the buzzwords you can remember, but you cannot articulate what the rule is, the next thing you do is make up the rule with what information you have. This is not the most ideal situation, but remember, the bar exam is about points. You're gonna get points for identifying the issue, which you likely already did. You're gonna get points for the analysis and conclusion. All of this is gonna factor into your score. And if you make up the rule based off of the buzzwords you remember, common sense, and your legal instincts, you may actually get the rule right as written. Another quick tip I have is that if this is a bar exam essay that has just a lot of sub-issues, I would try to, if it makes sense, put the rule that you don't know somewhere in the middle of the issues, sandwiched in between like issues that you know really, really well. The reason I say this is because the bar examiners, they go through things really quickly, so they may read your first like couple of hypos and be like, okay, this person can write pretty well, and then for the rest of it, they kind of just like look at your headers to make sure that you have all the issues and you have the buzzwords for the rules, because realistically, the bar exam graders are really spending only, 2 to 3 minutes grading these essays, so you may be able to get away with just hiding it. Now, the strategy isn't always going to make sense, because there are some rules and some issues that have to be kind of addressed in a particular order. So if that's the case, it wouldn't make sense to sandwich an issue that you don't know. Once you've done the best you can on that particular essay, you move on to the next essay. Remember that one issue on one essay is not going to make or break you. In fact, one essay is unlikely to make or break you. You have so many other opportunities to make up those points on the exam. The other essays, the performance tests, which have nothing to do with memorization, and the MBEs. Remember, you have to have a passing score, a cumulative passing score, which means that if you're particularly strong on the MBEs, it's going to take some pressure away from you on the essays. If you do a lot better on the other essays, it's okay if you get a lower score on the essay where you missed that one rule. If you're doing great on the PTs, that's also going to take away some pressure on the memorization that you have to do for the essays. Remember, this test is a marathon, not a sprint. You are not defined by one issue, on one essay, on one day, for one test. All this is just a tiny moment in the broader journey of your legal career.